With a 3-0 win in over District 7 champion Shaler in the Parkland High School boys volleyball program captured the 2023 state championship. With classmates long gone and the school basically closed for the summer vacation, the Trojans battled through the state tournament and the title game taking place on Saturday, June 17th at Penn State University. Today we celebrate the program's second state crown dating back to 2015. That, of course, featured the likes of Jack Dreisbach and Kyle Stout. Welcome in head coach Scott Trumbauer. And Scott, it was kind of a lonely feel with the school and preparing this, but I know the feel of winning that state championship is still fresh on everybody's mind.
Yeah, without a doubt. We've been celebrating since June 17th. Every day we've spread out the celebration throughout the whole summer and into the fall now.
Will Stiles, you were a junior. Now in your senior year, you'll be back. Pressure will be on you guys. But just talk about that run. And, you know, you don't have the opportunity to be in school with your classmates. And, hey, you're playing for a state championship. What was the experience like for you?
That run, it was definitely a unique experience because, you know, as a whole team, we would be in school when everyone was out of there. And, I mean, I liked it a little because I had the whole day to recover, eat, drink a lot of water, and then go really hard at practice. But it was definitely unique having to go into school during summertime.
Brady Hayward coming up on your senior year as well in the finals, 6 kills and 4 block shots. What was the experience like? And did you hear from some of your classmates throughout your run once they were gone and graduated and on with their summer vacation?
Yeah, so I know a couple friends of mine, even not in my school, would text me, use Snapchat, something like that, just to say like, hey, I saw you going to States. It's a really big thing for you. How do you feel? And I'm like, it's indescribable. Just the way we all played. And I mean, I had even like a club coach who's not even a coach anymore say to me like, hey, like, how did that feel? And I told him, I mean, I have that medal hung up right across my bed, and I wake up.
I was going to ask you where the medal is, so
yeah,
it's right there.
It's right there.
First thing you see in the morning, right?
And the first thing I see when I go to bed.
That's pretty awesome. We do have, obviously, the championship trophy with us. And, Coach, it's a little different makeup than the one that you brought home in 2015. Huh? Like the new look of the championship trophy?
Yeah, I do. And we said it looks like the NCAA tournament. It has like a nice sturdiness to it. The other one, I love it as well, but it was a little more fragile with the ball that was on there and things. But I'll take this one any day.
Yeah, pretty good stuff. So you beat Emmaus 3-1 to win the East Penn Conference title, then beat the Green Hornets once again 3-love to win the District 11 championship, and then wins over Cedar Crest, Upper Dublin. Cumberland Valley was the only one in the state tournament to even win a set against these guys, and then the 3-0 win over Shaler. Coach, how were you able to dominate once you got onto the stage? I mean, that's one set loss in 4 matches.
Yeah, it wasn't easy, and we were never thinking about how many sets have we lost or anything like that. It just, as the season went on, it just, the results are recurring. And you know, of the 5 sets that we lost, 4 of them were 2-point sets. So in theory, they were very close to us pulling those out as well. But you know, in that state semifinal, we were down the first set 24-21 to Cumberland Valley. Could have been down 1 set to none. Fought back, won that set, and then propelled us to the win. So it's like, at any given moment throughout the year, especially in that match, it could have flipped, and we wouldn't be talking about it.
Yeah, right.
But luckily for us, we had huge plays brought by these guys, and were able to pull out that set and then the match as well.
19-6 the year prior, coming into this season. What gave you the belief that this group, and at what point during the season did you start to believe that this group is something special?
Yeah, we go to big tournaments, and we go out to New York and play against 40 other teams, and we could start to see glimpses of the success and the wins that we were hoping were going to happen. We didn't win those tournaments. We had good lessons learned. We lost to Emmaus in one of them. But once we started to get back on track and play in our regular season, regular matches and things, you know, the results started to happen. And the year prior, I mean, these guys were all sophomores for the most part, and we had success then. So they gained some experience early in that season, which helped carry them into their junior years.
Will Stiles now will be coming up on his senior year. He is what they call in the sport a setter. He served as a captain, which is quite an honor for a young man who was in his junior year. 863 assists on the season, 135 digs, 21 blocks, 39 assists in the finals, and 9 digs. Will, where's your gold medal these days? Where do you keep it?
Just like Brady, I have mine hung up in my room. It's the first thing I see when I wake up in the morning. I actually have that, the other the district medals and EPCs from the past season, and a big plaque that coach and all our teammates and even Parkland High School has from our incredible run. So that's what I wake up to every morning and puts me in a good mood.
How's your summer? I know Brady mentioned clubs. You're a member of a club as well. Explain what is involved in that and what you guys do. How'd you spend your summer in terms of preparing for your senior year?
So I go to a trainer to work on my vertical jump because not the tallest setter in the world. And I also went to the gym for my upper body. I played a good amount of beach volleyball and grass volleyball, which really helps with my overall skills like passing, blocking, and attacking, stuff I'm not really doing as much when I'm setting. I went on a bunch of college visits and met with coaches and stuff like that.
You want to go to college?
Yep, I do.
Have it narrowed down? Have you visited any, or what's your thinking with it?
I've kind of narrowed it down to Misericordia and Randolph-Macon. Those are the two schools.
And you want to
for
continue
volleyball.
to play volleyball?
Yes.
How did you settle in on volleyball? You told me earlier that you also participated in soccer. What is it about this sport that attracted you to it? And I mean, obviously now it's a 12-month out of the year deal for you.
I really like the excitement it brings. I like how after every point, you know, something like a big block, a big kill, or even just a really nice dig, you can get really excited. I like how it's a tight atmosphere, and I mean, I like diving for the balls as well. I just like flying through the air and setting. I like to hit it every once in a while. I think it's a really fun sport because there's a big mental aspect that comes with it.
So describe your role as a setter for a fan who's our viewers out there who might not understand what we're talking about. What is your role predominantly as a setter?
So the setter's role is to distribute the ball to the offense, to the taller hitters, and you get the second ball. So the ball comes over the net, somebody passes the ball, and then it's my duty to pass that ball out for the hitter and put them in the best possible spot to get the kill, to get the point.
Okay, so you're talking about getting into guys like Brady, who's a little bit taller, and Brady, you're listed as a middle hitter. What is your predominant role within the program?
So I like to think of middle hitters as not necessarily the leader of the offense, but almost like a coordinator. They're the main component of blocking, so they set up blocks, they communicate everything they see on the other side of the net. They have a huge role in just spotting what's going on the other side, just seeing like, okay, are they going to set this person? Are they going to set this person? So it's really important as a middle blocker to be fast and to be active. You got to always be talking with your team, even if you know you're not going to get a set. Maybe you'll make the other team think, hey, I'm getting the set. So they all focus on you, and all of a sudden your teammate gets a crazy kill, and that feeling is just unparalleled.
So this is a little different than your volleyball matches that take place at the family picnics in the backyard, right? There's a little bit more goes into it, right?
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many different, like, I like to use the term volleyball IQ things, where you just have to know different tells of a setter and different ways that people hit. You have to know if someone's lefty or righty, because that will change how they hit. And there's so many of those niche little aspects that people don't even think about that it's just blows me away. You
were a multi-sport athlete. You had talk about the decision to stop playing basketball. How difficult was that? I mean, you're a young man and you're going to say, I'm going to concentrate on just volleyball.
It was one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. I had been playing basketball since I was little. I was always tall for my age, and everyone said, oh, you should play basketball. You should play basketball. And then I remember in 7th grade, one of my teachers told me, have you ever thought of volleyball? Like, I think you'd be really good at volleyball. And I told them no, because I had all my time in on basketball, and I was not going to switch, because I was playing AAU, I was playing for the school, and I was having a ton of fun with it. Then come 8th grade year, and I'm like, you know what? I think I could fit volleyball in my schedule. And I did. I made the team. I was going to play for the A team in 8th grade, because that's how it works at that level.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit. And I was devastated.
That was no fun for any of us.
I was so looking forward to playing volleyball, because it was something different. And then come freshman year, I make the JV team, and I'm like, I don't know how it's going to really go. And then by the end of the regular season, I'm pulled up to be a varsity member. Wow. And I felt so proud of myself that I could pick up a new sport and I could perform that way. So knowing I could do that, I just devoted my time to volleyball, and clearly it's played out really well.
College for you as well? You want to play collegiately?
I would love to.
Got some visits coming up, or have you visited anywhere?
So just this weekend, I visited a college up in New York, Hobart and William Smith colleges. They actually have a brand new program for D3 volleyball. And I've also been contacting with MIT, and they are potentially giving me an offer to go play volleyball for them, which I would love to because of their high academic excellence.
Do you know what you want to major in?
So I'm kind of between chemical engineering or biochemical engineering because I just love making things.
You like making things. What do you want to do then when you get out of college? Have you thought that far in advance?
I haven't thought that far.
What would you
in
like
advance.
to make?
I don't know, but I really do like chemistry, and I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah,
so.
that's pretty good stuff. Coach, that story's got to be pretty similar, although you told me that we're very fortunate here in District 11. Middle school is heavy with programs that have volleyball and offers it to their student athletes.
Yeah, in this area, there's a whole league for the schools that offer it. And when you go west out of here in the Berks County and District 3, which is the larger districts in the state, they don't have that.
Yeah.
So their kids are starting, they may play club, but they don't have a middle school opportunity. Ours, this area has, I think it's like 10 or 11 teams. Some of the teams up north are looking to add it. So it's huge for them to be able to get out and experience volleyball prior to getting to high school.
Give us a little preview on in your season. Well, these guys will participate in club until it gets all underway, I guess, next March. Give us a preview wherever you can. I guess Emmaus is going to be one of your big challenges again, a team that you beat in the league and district finals a year ago.
Yeah, there was a really strong junior class across the district last year. So Emmaus has a big core back. Whitehall has a core of players back. Liberty has one of the best players, if not the best player in the state back. So there's a number of teams that are bringing back a lot of firepower that had deep runs in the district and league playoffs last year.
Chase Robbins was a senior on last year's team. He graduated, obviously. He was a first-team All-League performer. He is at Juniata College. And Luke Smith, a second-team selection in the East Penn Conference. He wasn't able to join us here today, but he is back with your program. Just two guys recognized also, but yet a state championship team that bodes well for the coaching and the closeness of the entire program.
Yeah, with the all-state stuff, I mean, separate from the district all-stars, Chase is a first-team all-state player. That team only had 12 kids on it.
Going to be tough to replace?
100%. I mean, he was our heart and soul and our senior leader and the experience and everything.
Right.
Led us in the state final in kills and all those things too. And Luke was a second-team all-state as well. But we had a couple kids that were recognized on the third team for the District 11 All-Star team, so Will being one of them and Josh being another one. So, they'll be back. But it's funny, a lot of my friends were like, how do you win a state championship and have one All-State player when the team we played had two on the first team? And that's just how it worked out. I mean, we had a good core team. We didn't have an individual or a handful of individuals that led us. It was everybody as a whole, which was shown in the All-State.
I'm sure you've heard this before, and it's the obvious question. 2015 team put up the same kind of numbers, undefeated, didn't lose many sets. I mean, and really, just a dominant program. I mentioned Dreisbach and Stout as part of that team. How do these two experiences and these two teams compare with one another, you think?
Besides the numbers, everything, there are so many things that pop up that were comparable or the exact same thing happened. And that year we had Sam Iorio, big basketball name in this area.
Yes, pretty good.
I had him come up at the end of the year and kind of join us as another big body at practice. So he was with us too, but he had to miss the state final for a religious ceremony with his family. This year we had another kid, religious ceremony with his family, who joined us, had been called up. So it's just like these little similarities that were occurring throughout the year. It's like a movie script almost. And then you look at the numbers with number of sets lost and number of, overall record and the championships and things. It was
a lot of similarities.
It's scary. It was kind of scary, to be honest with you. But, and even similarities in terms of the roster itself, in terms of, it was like 76% or 78% of our team in 15 were juniors. This year it's 86%.
Yeah, right, underclassmen.
We had Kyle Stout, and a basketball player who's hit on the right side of the net for us this year. We have Owen Rogers, basketball player, right side of the net. It's one thing after another of similarities.
Didn't have the opportunity, obviously, at a pep rally and a send-off, but they are trying to make up for things with that. Coming up October 3rd, I believe you told me you're going to a trip to Harrisburg and the homecoming float. You will have a float in the upcoming homecoming event for the football program. That'll be in October as well. But they continue to try and do teams to recognize you are the 16th program in the history of all of Parkland sports to win a state championship, and it's been a while since they had one. Didn't you guys were the only ones to win one last year?
Yeah, the only one to win was last year, and when we won in 2015, it was a good year for Parkland sports because the girls had won, girls volleyball we won, and then softball won seven days later.
Yes.
So it was a very short period of time where we were the last state champion at Parkland, but this one, it's surpassed those 7 days.
Senior class coming up right here. What makes them? How many seniors will you have on this year's team?
We will have 12 or 13.
It's a lot, right?
It is.
That is
13,
a lot.
yeah. And that's what we did again in 2015. We had 13, I think it was that year too. So, but we got a good group of kids. The JV team this year played really well and had a great season. So we got a number of kids coming up. So yeah.
Good stuff. Will, is the locker room like basketball or football? Is there music that's played there? And who's in charge of the music? Who's the music man?
Well, last year, Chase Robbins, kind of our centerpiece.
So he was the leader in a lot of ways, huh?
Yeah, we'd like to listen to some tunes before the game and get really hyped.
One more favorite than the other? I mean, is there...
For music?
For the music, yeah. Is there one tune that was a little bit more popular amongst the guys than another?
Not necessarily. I mean, we would play some rap music in the locker room. That really got us excited.
Okay.
It's a really nice atmosphere.
Yeah. Brady, who you gonna put in charge of that this year? Who's gonna?
Oh man.
Have we thought about that yet?
I don't think we've thought that far ahead. It's going to be a tough choice.
Yeah, for sure. Is things going well in school?
Yeah, really well.
Yeah, good for you guys. Good for you guys. Will Stiles, Brady Hayward, two of the stars of Parkland's state championship team. When we return, we're going to welcome in one of the young men who was really a great addition to the program. He was only a sophomore a year ago, but Josh Nation will join us. Stiles and Hayward, wish you guys great success. Maybe we'll do this again next year then too, huh? Coach going to stay with us. We'll be back with more on this week's show. We're celebrating the champions at Parkland High School, state champs in volleyball from 2023. Stay with us. Celebrating Parkland High School's volleyball state championship from back in June. Hard to believe it's been 3 months, but their victory tour will continue. They, as I mentioned, will be heading down to Harrisburg. They'll have a float in the upcoming homecoming event during the one of the football home games. Scott Trumbauer in his 23rd year. He's a graduate of the school, class of 1997, played volleyball under Will Robinson there. And how much did Coach Robinson have? I mean, what kind of an impact did he have on your career that you're back there and filling his shoes?
I always say he taught me everything from a playing perspective. I still do things at practice that we did back in the 90s for certain things. He got me into jump training and plyometrics and helped me develop.
It's all part of it, huh?
It is, and that's what we did in the off season. And his commitment was huge in what we were able to achieve. And he won the first district championship at Parkland back in the 90s. And I played for him for 3 years and was able to win 3 and go to some state semifinals with him. But now his one daughter, Brooke, was a manager for us in 2015. He's still around. He was at the state final.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he's still around and follows us. Yeah, it does.
You're also a color analyst for us here at the Service Electric Network. We appreciate your efforts. You do a terrific job for us. Mike Kraus doing the same thing with the girls. He's got 3 state titles now. You've got 2. I'm sure you let him know that you're within 1 now, right?
Yeah. He knows, and he deserves everything he has ever achieved. I mean,
oh my God, Hall of Fame career. He's an icon in the sport.
Yeah. When I was learning to play, I was going to Camp Olympic, and he was, directing that camp then. So. He's been around. Learning from him has been huge for us. Yeah, and his daughter was the other manager for us in 2015. So it's a small world, really.
Yeah, it certainly is. Josh Nation, I apologize for not getting you in a little sooner. You're coming up on your junior year. What are the challenges for a 10th grader trying to become involved in a program with high expectations like this one here?
It's just like a really weird feeling. Everyone on the court with you is a year older than you, sometimes 2 years.
It's hard to fit in, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of like adapting to that and kind of having like a new feel because you're going from JV your freshman year into like a more faster paced game, a higher skill level. So just kind of adjusting to that.
Is there a point during the season last year where you said, hey, I do fit in with these guys? And how long of a process and how long did that take?
I think it took a couple weeks. I got off to a pretty shaky start to this season, but I think after we played Penridge, like our second or third game of the year, I was like, I think I'm finally in with them. I think I'm fitting in.
Coach, elaborate on that a little bit. Not easy to have 9th graders and 10th graders because the seniors and juniors have been a part of the program, and that's some of their playing time.
It is, and we're fortunate with JV and varsity practice at the same time. So the kids are always around each other, whether it's the new coming freshman or the 4-year senior. So that helps a little bit, and we travel together and we're together a lot. But again, for him to be able to step in and do the things,
pretty
his
awesome.
freshman year, he was playing a totally different position than what he played for us this year. And the position he played this year, there's a lot of pressure on it.
Yeah.
It's, when things are going bad, his position is who's is bailing us out. So he excelled for us and obviously filled the role pretty well.
He's an outside hitter. Josh, you also work within the girls program. Mike Krause and the ladies, business as usual. They're 7-0. Got a big one coming up against Liberty, of which we'll have coverage of that one Wednesday night this week. Liberty and Parkland, currently both teams undefeated, and Coach Trumbauer will be on the call with Dan Freemuth, so we'll look forward to that. But Josh, what is your role within the girls program right now? What do you do?
I help out a lot during practices. Like I'll hit down balls to initiate play. I'll be at the net blocking for them. I'll do some hitting, just kind of all around playing.
So you actually like serve as like a scout team guy kind of thing, something like along that lines?
Yeah.
That's pretty good stuff. Any other sports for you growing up, or?
Yeah, I played basketball for like 6 or 7 years when I was little.
And have you walked away from that or stepped aside with that?
Yeah, I put volleyball.
How hard was that to do?
It was very hard. I've been playing basketball like my whole life. Everyone in my family plays basketball. Like my dad grew up with basketball. Everyone, like, it's just a family thing. So when I decided to put volleyball.
Anybody volleyball? Anybody else volleyball in the family?
My sister, actually, she played when I was in 8th grade. So her junior year, she was with the girls team.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
6.
6.
Yeah.
All athletes?
All of them.
All of them athletes. What's the oldest?
Taylor, he's 30, I think.
30? Okay.
Yeah.
Was he what was his sport?
He did a little bit of everything. He played football for the high school.
Is that right? Yeah. So how many currently in the high school right now?
Right now, it's just me.
Okay. All right. Well, where do you fit into the 6? And what?
I'm the second youngest.
Second youngest. How does that work out for you?
Well, everyone's a lot older than me, so they're all out of the house.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Junior year, would you like to go on to college?
Yeah, definitely.
And are you looking anywhere, or is it just a little bit early to start that process?
I started like reaching out to schools this summer. Went to a couple of college camps.
We heard the word club come up in the first segment with the guy with Brady. What club are you a part of, and what kind of experiences have you had with the club in terms of where have you traveled to?
Velocity Lehigh Valley. Before this year, we didn't really do a lot of traveling, maybe like an hour away or so. But this year, we're kind of branching out more. So we'll be going like Pittsburgh or Virginia, like York, Lancaster, around there.
Coach, you told me that you were part of kind of establishing that club around here back in the early 2000s when you took over in that program. That has really blossomed into a big opportunity for these youngsters.
Yeah, it was. There was limited opportunities back then. It was much more school district focused. So there were some clubs, but it was specific schools. So we formed Velocity and kind of opened it up to anyone really, any school district. And John Yannick at Freedom, he's been coaching there for 32 or 33 years now. He has taken it and just run with it like crazy. Now he has, I don't know how many, it's hundreds of kids participating in just this area, and they travel like crazy. They have every age bracket covered. So it's been great to watch John kind of take the club world and continue to push it. And he does other stuff for adults and co-ed volleyball up in North Catasauqua. So he's got his fingers in a lot of things for volleyball in this area, which has been great.
Take us back to your days as a student athlete at Parkland High School, and What would you say to that young man? If did you ever think you'd be sitting here being the head coach at your alma mater and a 2-time state champion?
Never. I didn't even want to play volleyball when I was younger. My mom actually played. She kind of forced my hand into doing it. My brother played, who's been my assistant for all 23 years.
No kidding. Mom made you go to a practice.
She did. She made me go to tryouts. She sent a note to my teacher who read it in front of everybody that said that everything is good and I needed to go. So that embarrassed me, but I was furious. But I look back and I don't know what I would be doing, honestly. I played basketball and soccer, and I kind of gave up basketball to focus more on volleyball in the wintertime. But I have no idea what I'd be doing if I didn't do that.
At what age did volleyball, bell or whistle go off for you that say, hey, I like this?
It was when I was 14. I was 14 or 15. I was, again, still filling in on our church team's roster thing. When somebody was in traffic, I would be the guy standing on the court waiting for him to arrive. And eventually I was just like, well, I'll just keep playing. And I would just stay on the court. But I was very small. I was like 5'8", and when I finally hit my growth spurt, then, and Coach Robertson kind of got us in the plyometrics and the training and all that stuff, and it really started to sink in.
So you did lose, we talked about losing Chase Robbins. That's the only senior really that you lost two, but one who was actually there. Give us a little bit of preview on this year's team and who might be the guys. I mean, we went 2 of the stars, but who might be some of the guys that you're counting on to fill in here to, get you maybe back to the same level? Yeah,
I mean, besides the 3 that are here today, Owen Rogers was our opposite hitter. He had a huge match in the state final. I mean, his block was gigantic. He was getting a lot of touches and really puts in good positions. Luke Smith, as you mentioned, second-team All-State player, returning back. Kumail Sinasra, who is a defensive player for us, and Ahmad Jaffer. He's our libero. He wears a different color jersey. He had an incredible season for us. Was out for a short period of time due to some injuries early in the season, which helped some other kids get some exposure. And a whole slew of other kids who throughout the season filled in when Ahmad was out. Alex Wilby was one that comes to mind who stepped in and played multiple roles. So he'll be back as well. So with the big group coming back, lots of experience, have the state championship to fall back on and know they can achieve these certain things, it's going to be big for us.
Yeah, really good stuff. Josh Nation, coming up on your junior year, are you a goal setter? Do you have goals for the year?
Yeah, kind of do what we did this year, win another EPC title, district title, hopefully another state title.
A little difficult to not get ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Josh Nation, pleasure to meet you, young man. Continued success. Coach, have fun with Liberty Parkland, the girls. That promises to be a good one. Take it easy on the setter, Mike Krause, there in your commentary with it.
Yeah, I'll try to. I don't critique his coaching decisions much. He's got enough experience and he knows what he's doing.
Scott Trumbauer, 2 now state titles, 7 District 11, 8 conference, 12 East Penn Conf, 23-0 record a year ago. They, of course, will obviously have their sights set high once again, celebrating the Parkland High School Volleyball State Championship team. So glad you could join us here on this week's show. For all of us here at the Service Electric Network, I'm Mike Zambelli. Enjoy the remainder of your night.